Hello, what is up guys? Eman from Peso Smart Page here. Welcome sa panibagong episode. Shout out to all the podcast listeners as well. I appreciate you all. Today, let's talk about inflation rate. So, just a quick background before tayo mag-start sa ating actual na episode. So, kwento lang ako about sa mga happenings yesterday and like the past couple of days. So, as you all know, I still have a 9 to 5 job and grabe yung kahapon. Sobrang haba nung tinrabaho. Like I was up Thursday night until midnight. And yeah, that was the time that I started working. And siguro I slept from 3 a.m. to around 7-ish a.m. Actually, bumangon ako mga 8:30 so hindi ko kaya. And then I just started working from like 8 up until around 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. last night. So yeah, it was a marathon, and like right now I still have this headache na hindi pa rin nawawala, but hopefully after ko mag-workout later, mawala na siya. But yeah, a lot has happened the past few days, and yeah, let's talk about inflation rate and its effects sa mga investments natin. And yeah, inflation rate. I'm not gonna like discuss what the meaning of inflation rate is, like yung actual meaning niya, but essentially, inflation rate is what we're trying to beat. That's why we're investing, right? So, I know na sobrang naging sexy, quote-unquote na, yung investing and all that stuff. But that's not actually investing. That's trading. That's day trading. Borderline gambling. And when you see these gains of 100x, 1000x, then people start notice. But investing has been here for quite a long time. And historically, because you're investing in actual businesses that offers services and products, then nag-gain sila ng value if the business is successful, and their stocks will reflect that. But on the flip side, kasi again guys, disclaimer lang, I'm not bashing, I'm not against trading because I already tried it, but again, it's not for me, and it might not be for you as well. Or for example, flip side, it's for you. Then yeah, kudos to you, and keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you enjoy. But yeah, anyway, I digress. Yep, investing like being this sexy job or sexy side hustle. I think we have to not view it as that, because investing is actually like a journey, a very long journey. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. I know that there are some investments that will actually take you to the moon, but most of it is just marketing and hype. All right, and what you really need to invest is, of course, to invest in yourself first, in your knowledge, and yeah, of course, investing in stocks and bonds and treasuries and cryptocurrencies, since I truly believe that there is for me, my personal opinion, there is a spot for the cryptocurrency asset class in the future. I know that there are a lot of noise right now. There are a lot of projects, but we'll see kung sino yung mga magsusurvive ngayong bearish na yung trend ng market. After all the hype is gone, ngayong lahat ng tao is takot. Makikita natin kung sino ba yung mga projects, ano ba yung mga tokens na magsusurvive. And then yeah, yung mga fundamentally sound the projects will just stick. They will just keep building, and they're here for the long term, the long run. And they're just not here to make a quick buck out of you. All right, okay. Again, kung saan na tayo napupunta, balik tayo sa inflation rate. So yeah, we're investing so that hindi ma-devalue yung ating pera. Kasi kita natin dito, for April, we're now up. Yung Philippine inflation rate to. Kasi if we take a look at the US inflation rate, it's at 8.5%. That is crazy. Actually, for April, not sure why, but for April ng US, it's 8.3. So, bumaba siya ng konti. But of course, since majority naman ng viewers ko is Filipino, since also speaking Tagalog. But yeah, we have to focus on the inflation rate here in the Philippines. So, it's at 4.9%. The last time that we have that kind of inflation rate was actually back here in 2018. And from Feb 2018, actually January 2018, up until nung peak ng inflation rate na to, inflation rate hike. So from 3.8%, nag-peak tayo at around 6.7 for around 2 months of inflation rate. And that lasted for 273 days. So that's around almost a year. So that was back in 2018. And there is a potential for that to happen again. Kasi we already saw US to post an inflation rate of 8.5%. That was like the highest in the last 40 years. And I think meron lang ding lag between first world countries and third world countries. So, di ba? Sila, matagal nang tumataas yung inflation rate, but tayo nagsistart pala mag-pick up. And now, personally, for me, I felt it, you know? Kasi this year, my main goal was to like invest more money and to save up more so that I can invest more. Kasi for the better half of 2021, I was just spending like crazy because, you know, my income went up, investments was doing good, I was getting passive income here and there, and yeah, I learned my lesson the hard way na yun nga, hindi dapat i-inflate yung iyong lifestyle as your income increases. Although I didn't really go crazy about like spending, but I was spending way above what I was spending before to sustain me and my lifestyle. And yeah, and just a brief background. Kaya nasasabi ko na experience ko to kasi I've been living alone for almost 2 years now. So sabihin natin 1.5 years. Since 2020, October, lumipat ako dito sa QC to live alone, to experience living alone. Kasi I've never lived alone, ever. Like, I was 20... Kala mo naman tagal. I was 24 back then. Magta-25 ako nung lumipat ako dito. I'm 26 right now. And I didn't really understand how hard it is to, you know, budget and, you know, pagkasyahin yung budget. But I was able to figure things out. At first, of course, it was hard, but I was able to figure things out. And I have a system. And I followed it. And medyo nawala lang yun sa groove. Especially when nag-start talaga ako ng, you know, I invested heavily, like capital and time and effort sa cryptocurrencies and sa cryptoverse. So that's why medyo, you know, nag-fall off yung discipline with like spending habits and all that to like parang cope with like the stress of learning new things. And yeah, it was well worth it, don't get me wrong, but I have to this year I had to like realign with what I actually believed in and what actually worked for me for like the longest time. So yeah, that's why I can really say that this inflation is gonna affect us one way or the other. And when we check the effects of inflation sa PSEI back in actually sabihin natin January 2018 up until October 2018, what happened? This downturn happened. So from January up until October, again, that's 273 days. Down lang yung PSEI from the highs here na nag 9,000 tayo. Well, medyo overheat na rin yung market at that time kasi we were setting all-time highs sa PSE index, and yeah, a correction is bound to happen. But this is a 22% downturn. And since start na nga tayo mag-increase or tumaas yung inflation rate natin ulit, let's check kung ano yung mangyayari. Like from the high here, the local bottom itong 2022. If we go around October again and 22-ish%. Ayan. Babalik tayo to around 5,800 range ng PSEI. I mean, I hope this doesn't happen and I hope na inflation rate is, ma-control kahit paano. But we can't really know what will happen in the future. Kasi, di ba, sabi ni Peter Lynch, if everyone can predict like accurately or like 100% yung interest rate, yung inflation rate, then everyone would be a billionaire. Kasi you would just trade or invest against those trends, di ba? Macroeconomic trends or policies na nangyayari. And yung isang video ni Andre Jack, he explained, I think latest yun, he explained na bakit hindi na lang tanggalin yung inflation rate? Bakit na lang hindi dapat stagnant lahat? Bakit na lang, interest rate is hindi taasan or babaan? Well, inflation rate is like, sabi nga niya, a necessary evil. Kasi if yung inflation rate is wala, then walang magpo-propel or walang magpo-fuel sa economy ng isang bansa. Alright? So inflation rate, this appeals to the consumers na, hey, your 1 million pesos in a year, sabihin natin na 5% yung inflation rate, mababawasan niya ng 5% na in value. So, ibig sabihin, 950k na lang yung, tama ba yung math ko? 950k na lang yung buying power ng 1 million mo next year, even though may 1 million pesos ka pa rin. Diba? So, yung appeal to consumers is like, okay, I will spend my money now instead of next year kasi may inflation. Diba? And again, that is the appeal for people to invest their money instead of saving it up or like, buying things. And para sa akin, of course, yung appeal ng inflation is hindi to like consume now and buy the house now, buy cars now, buy gadgets. No. Appeal sa akin is to just invest and try to beat the inflation rate. So for me, that's fun. It's really fun, like trying to figure things out, especially companies, especially like projects in cryptocurrencies, like diving deep into something and trying to learn more every single day, trying to improve more every single day, and trying to find out what works and what doesn't. And for me, that is the process. And I know now we have like big goals, like we want to be a millionaire someday, we want to be financially free, but at the end of the day, kailangan pa rin natin like gawin what's needed to like achieve those things. It won't happen in like a snap, right? Kasi I know, well, nakikita ko lang din na yun yung parang binibenta ngayon ng social media and like society in general na you just have to like learn this, learn that, buy this, enroll in this course, buy this whatever book, and you will be financially free. But no, it doesn't really work that way. Part yun ng process, and the bottom line is you have to enjoy it. As if you don't, then I mean, you wouldn't really bother putting in the effort and the time to like hone your skills and learn new things for you to improve as an investor, or flip side as a trader, right? And again, money shouldn't really be like your main focus, I would say. I mean, medyo ironic na kasi we're talking about investments and money shouldn't be, what I'm saying is money shouldn't be your end goal, right? What you should strive for is to like improve as a person and try to enjoy things or try to do things that you love. And it doesn't necessarily mean na I will quit my job tomorrow kasi I'm gonna open up a restaurant but hindi ka pa nun marunong magluto. hindi ko pa naman marunong kung paano ba nag-work yung restaurant business, di ba? Oh, I will quit my job tomorrow and I will I will become a developer sa Web3. Hindi ka naman marunong mag-code, di ba? I mean, it doesn't work that way. Hindi like isang snap mo lang magagawa mo na yung like gusto mong gawin. You have to actually work hard for it, and of course if you have the talent for it, then go right ahead. But yun nga, it is necessary to like, you know, sustain ourselves. And siguro may mga swerte sa inyo na you're still like you're enjoying the privilege of like, for example, living with your parents for like free. Nung wala ko masyadong ginagastos, then that's actually a privilege. But when you have like, you know, bills and kailangan mo talaga mag-budget. Actually, I was thinking of like going back, but it's a really hard decision kasi I'm used to like this kind of lifestyle right now, and I don't know how it will work out if ever I go back. You know, yeah, I'm gonna save a lot more money, that's for sure. But how will it like affect, you know, my mental state and like how we do things on the daily, diba? Makapag-record pa ba ako like freely every time? So those are the things that, you know, you have to consider. And again, wag natin madaliin yung buhay. Minsan corny sabihin, but yeah, it's really not a race, and you should always just focus on yourself, continue on improving, and again try to enjoy the process. Kasi when you get there, it doesn't really change anything. Because from 2018 nag-start na ako mag-invest heavily. Hindi naman heavily. Start ako mag-invest sa stock market. I also bought some cryptos back in early 2018, but hindi ko naman talaga sobrang seryoso yung crypto kasi it's relatively new, and then at that time daming like ICO scams and all that shit. So I wasn't really a big fan of it. And if you've been following me for quite a while now, you know that I'm a big fan of Warren Buffett, and he doesn't like cryptocurrencies. But again, nagbago yung isip ko. Yes, I'm still a big fan of Warren Buffett. I still learn a lot of things from him, but I disagree with his views about cryptocurrencies. But sometimes, of course, see Warren Buffett, he benefited from the old system. He made a fortune from, you know, the old system because it worked for him. That's why he doesn't really like a new system coming in, you know, decentralization and all that, stable coins. So he doesn't really like that kasi that will, kumbaga parang hindi naman madi-discredit no yung his life's work and investments, but it's sort of a threat to like the whole system or the whole bubble that we're living in for the past, I don't know, century. So yeah, I changed my mind about cryptocurrencies. I started studying, like I really put in the hours of researching what does a cryptocurrency do, ano bang ibig sabihin ng token, ng coin, ng blockchain, and what really struck me the most is yung blockchain technology because I think maganda yung mga pwedeng applications ng technology na yan. And we're actually seeing it. Because a lot of Web 2 people from the US and actually here in the Philippines din. Kasi medyo crypto hub na rin yung Philippines. But yeah, Web 2 people are transferring like to Web 3. I know na this is the early stages. So, kumbaga merong gold rush no na yung mga VC back na projects and businesses and companies are just like dumping cash on their employees. So, they pay really good money. Like for example sa mga developers no na hina-hire nila for projects. So kumbaga ito yung gold rush stage. But same thing naman sa traditional like businesses no. Say high paying job talaga yung mga software engineers na yan, mga IT people, mga CS people. That's why I personally I'm trying to study coding. Although may background naman ako sa coding like no high school and elementary, but of course you have to, hone the skill. So that's what I am doing on the side right now. And like lately, hindi ako masyadong nakapag-practice. So I have to get back in that grind as well. So yeah, a lot of Web2 people are now building or investing actively sa Web3 space, sa blockchains, sa cryptocurrencies. So of course, yeah, I got into it again last year in April, and actually I hit my first M sa what do you call this, stocks last year as well. That's why I shifted or I like pivoted sa cryptocurrencies. Kasi sabi ko, yeah, I kind of figured out how the stock market works, and I'm just gonna invest passively dito. So that's why yung attention ko, effort ko, and yung oras ko is napunta talaga halos lahat sa cryptocurrencies. And I think the same thing applies naman, almost same principles nag-apply din sa cryptocurrencies. Although you really have to know how TA works and how sentiment works and all that. Kasi grabe talaga yung movement ng prices sa cryptocurrencies, especially if you're an aspiring trader. Then yeah, you have to learn all that. But for me, I just look for projects that really has a good potential. So I also invested in like Axie, di ba? Kasi yun yung first game na nagbibigay ng income sa actual income for playing a game. I know it was overhyped last year and the entry price was ridiculous, and right now like naubos nga yung daily active users sila. It's below 1 million na ulit, but they sort of started this quote unquote revolution about the gaming space, and we know what happened after, right? Sobrang daming nag-enter sa space na yun na games. Yung iba, like, most of it are just scams. And right now, hindi pa rin talaga nasusolve yung Ponzi-nomics na economy, no? Na meron yung mga play-to-earn games. But I truly believe that that is the future of gaming. And, kailangan lang talaga maggawa ng isang game that is actually enjoyable. And games take time to develop, diba? Again, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you have to, we're talking about years here to develop like a really nice game, a good game that people will enjoy, and at the same time they will own their assets and they will earn potentially income sa mga games na to. And I'm not saying na hindi ka nakikita sa Axie, because if you're a competitive player, then yeah, you're gonna get paid a lot, especially if you're good. But of course, andyan din yung initial investments na you have to like have access. But if you're a good player, then maybe may mga guilds na magsa-sponsor sa'yo, or like esports team or whatnot. And yeah, ang dami na ring esports events ng Axie. So yeah, I'm really bullish long term sa mga blockchain games na to. And yeah, I think it's gonna be the future of gaming. And yeah, yun. Saan na tayo napunta? I just wanted to say na that was ultimately my goal before, to like become a millionaire and eventually become a billionaire. And when I reached that first milestone, I was excited for like a second. I was hyped for a second now, and I was so excited to like share it to like friends and family, and of course you guys. Kasi sa TikTok naggawa din on TikTok. I'm not sure if nagpost ako sa YouTube about it, but yeah, and it lasted for a second, and then afterwards I was like thinking, did anything really change? And isagot ko this, no. I mean, ano ba yung next? Yung second million, yung third, yung 10th. And then, will this like ever end, And will I still enjoy what I do to achieve those goals? And that's why nagkaroon din ako ng mindset shift last year. na yun nga, yung kumbaga main driver is dapat hindi pera talaga. Because I don't know, that will make things easy. I know sobrang like privilege na statement na sabihin. Kasi you know, a lot of people are still like struggling paying bills and just living paycheck to paycheck, and then sometimes wala pang paycheck. But yeah, for all you guys who are listening to me, I know na you have like, I don't know, the means, and you're sort of stable, and you're going through the same process as me, I'm assuming. Kasi, I mean, first you have a device like a PC, a laptop, or a mobile device, a phone, and you have an internet connection. So, you're sort of trying to figure things out as well. And of course, we all want to be financially free. And yeah, that's why I'm doing this actually, because I wanna help as much people as I can, and I wanna share with you guys how I approach things, how I invest, how I allot capital, and of course, just want to share the journey with all of you. And yeah, if you find value with all of this, then thank you. And yeah, let me know sa comments if you find value with all of this. And yeah, of course, bigyan nyo ng like yung video sa YouTube. Alright, I know na super random na ng mga pinag-usapan natin, but that's just how my thoughts flowed while I was recording this podcast episode. And yeah, una nating pinag-uusapan was inflation rate, but kung saan na tayo napunta. Again, slow and steady, guys. Slow and steady. And always remember na you need to know what you're buying. You need to know what you're investing into. Because if you don't, and then the prices goes down, then you will panic. Ganun yung nangyayari sa mga panic sellers. Because na-advertise sa nila, we're going up, and may engganyo lang din sila to buy in or like invest when it's going up. But when it goes down, it's gonna be blaming game, it's blaming time. Bakit mo pinabili sa akin to? Bumababa na ngayon, sayang yung pera ko, blah blah blah. I mean, you're the one who invested, right? You're the one who deposited the money into your account. You're the one who chose the stock. You're the one who bought the stock at an all-time high. Okay. I mean, ganun talaga yung mga pitfall, especially kapag bago ka pa lang sa investing game. That's why this is an emotional game. Kasi yung iba inisip, dapat matalino ka, dapat magaling ka sa math. No, not really. Ang tinatanong dito is yung, gaano ba katatag, yung loob mo and yung gut mo to see your capital, your investment go down by 20%, 50%, and of course sa cryptocurrency even 80 to 90%, di ba? And dito rin tatanungin yung conviction mo. Kasi if you didn't do any research at all and you just bought in a project or a stock when it was pumping, then eventually you will cut your, quote unquote, cut your losses and panic sell when the prices are going down. Kasi if you did your research and if you believe in the stock, you won't sell when it goes down. You will buy more when you have the chance, when you have the capital, diba? I mean, if the fundamentals didn't change at all and then the prices are going down, then that means Mr. Market is just acting irrationally. And that might be identified as a good opportunity to buy, to increase your position on that particular stock. So, ang daming ganyan examples na from before. But of course, not every falling knife is worth catching. For example, yung Luna, di ba? A lot of people hindi na bababa ulit yan. 1 centavo na lang. Nag-pump siya like last week for a day. About 10x, 11x yung pwede nyo mag-gain kung na-timingan nyo yung bottom and yung top. And then from that local top, down na siya ulit ngayon ng 80%. So yeah, you can't really say, kung gaano kababa yung ibababa yung price ng isang token or ng isang asset. Again, especially sa cryptocurrencies. But here sa stock market, iba kasing approach eh. Kasi you're buying a part of a business, diba? Again and again, I want to remind you na pagka bumili kayo ng stock, hindi lang yung price yung mahalaga. Okay? You have to change your mindset about stocks. And you have to know na, hey, I'm kasosyo ko itong mga taong to. And for itong mga nag-run naman itong mga businesses na to sa stock market, syempre, mas well, hindi naman regulated talaga halos yung cryptocurrency, but yeah, regulated itong mga stocks na to, and they wouldn't be publicly traded unless they have like a good business going. So for the most part, these people are a lot smarter than us, right? Kasi kung if you are like, if you're more brilliant than them, or if we are much smarter than them, then maybe we should be running our own businesses, right? But yeah, nasa sidelines na tayo, and I mean, I'm just talking by myself here sa kwarto ko, recording a podcast episode, a video for you guys. So yeah, that's the least that we can do. Research about the company. Paano ba sila nagkakapera? Ano ba yung margin nila? Do they have debt? Pagka ba hindi na nag-inject ng capital dun sa company, kikita pa rin ba sila? So, yeah, those are the things that you have to consider and you have to learn when you're investing in stocks. And then again, disclaimer lang, it's very different sa cryptocurrencies. It's the wild west there. And I know a lot of people, especially yung mga nagsasabi na yung newbies, huwag muna kayo mag-stock market kasi huwag muna kayo mag-stock kasi it's really volatile and it's really risky. I mean, in my opinion, it's super safe as long as nabago mo na yung mindset mo about equities, about stocks, about securities. Na you're actually buying in a business. You're a quote-unquote part owner of the business when you buy stocks. And when you truly understand that, and when you do your homework, when you do, the fundamental analysis, then yeah, you can sleep well at night. So yeah, get that 8 hours of sleep at night instead of like worrying about the prices every single day. So mas okay na approach yun, no? Diba? I mean, for me, that's more appealing. I know na I'm actually actively monitoring the market because I'm always trying to find opportunities. But still, my main approach, meron akong, passive income. Well, hindi naman passive portfolio, di ba? I just, put in money, buy a stock, buy crypto, and then just call it a day. I don't really care if it fluctuates, if it goes up 20% tomorrow, I don't really care. If it goes down 80% tomorrow, I don't really care. That is my passive portfolio. I'm not gonna do anything stupid just because bumaba yung prices, And yeah, dun ka rin babalik sa conviction mo about your investment, about your stock pick, about your crypto pick. Kasi if you didn't do your homework, then again, you're just gonna panic sell. Kasi sabi mo, sige, cut na ako ng loss kasi try na lang ulit ako ng ibang project. So, yeah. Wala kang conviction, ibig sabihin lang. Alright, so I think I'm gonna wrap things up. So, I just want to say that I don't mean to scare people off because of what I showed here earlier. But that is just one scenario that can play out. And yeah, we're just speculating here and just trying to figure out what will happen. So of course, kailangan natin magkaroon ng forecast about the future. Although, diba, if you're like a stoic, that doesn't really matter kasi that's out of your control. But it's also important to be ready. And this is what we can do now. Do forecasts, right? And check back yung history kung ano ba yung mga nangyari when inflation rates were this high. Diba? And that was just like 4 years ago. And ito kasing like dip din nung 2020. This is like an isolated case kasi sino ba namang makapag-predict na magkakaroon ng global pandemic in 2020? I mean, some people claim that they were able to predict it, but it's just, I don't know, 0.0001% chance of actually accurately predicting something that will happen in the future. Again, yung certain lang tayo na mangyayari in the future is magbabayad tayo ng taxes and mamamatay tayo. And all the other things is just up in the air. And what we can do now is to actually act, on what we want to do. If you want to start investing now, then yeah, study, invest in yourself, invest some, a small portion of your income sa stock market. Para maramdaman yun, no? Kasi iba yun eh. Kasi for the longest time, ang tagal kong inaral yung investing in yung stock market, but I didn't really invest up until 2018, di ba? And iba yung feeling eh. Kapag meron ka ng yung sarili mong pera is in-invest mo, mas mag-e-effort ka. Especially, for example, yung unang stock na binili mo is hindi nag-work out ng maganda. Di ba? So, mas magdededicate ka ng time and effort of like improving. Dapat ito palang ginawa ko. Dapat hindi ko pala ginawa yan. So, yeah. Again, hopefully, this video helped you out. And if nag-enjoy ka sa content na to, subscribe ka na sa channel ko and give the video a thumbs up kasi sobrang nakatulong sa algorithm ng YouTube. And if you want to follow me on my social media platforms, I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at MNPSPage. And again, stay safe out there. I'll see you on the next episode. Always remember, be Peso Smart.